Hi everyone, I'm Joaquim Rasi. I represent Rasi PFT. I work in Elixir Coliseum in Maestria. We more or less 6 minutes away from Frontline Academy. I know Jack for 5, it's going into 6 years. I'm, you could say, maybe the first, I don't know, Jack, am I your first sponsor?
One of the first, at least, yeah.
So,
yeah.
You know, Jack was doing a little GSP back in the day, and then I said to him, hey, you need a bit of sports performance. Like, I'm willing to help. I know the guys at Frontline, and I think Jack is a good, and I know he's a good representative of the sport. He does a lot as a good ambassador, and I mean, he supports good things, and that's why he keeps smiling, this guy. Even when he's training hard, he keeps smiling.
Awesome. It feels awesome. High heart rate stuff, that's the worst. The closer we get to the fight, we try not to tax the body too much, but still have good intensity and so on. But it's slightly different. It's less load, but a lot of speed all the way, and intensity all the way, almost to the fight. So like when it's 2 weeks left, then we start to decrease the intensity, or at least the load, but it's still intense. So you want to keep the speed all the way close to the fight.
I mean, Jack is the person putting himself at risk, and like it is, he represents everybody that stands behind him. But the person taking the most risk is Jack. And I get nervous. I mean, I was watching Rio, although I went to Rio with my mom just a couple of months before. I was up watching that fight, and you know, they kept calling the knee, but I knew it wasn't the knee. I just didn't know what it was because the guy was hopping all the time. Jack was jumping and bouncing light on his feet, so I knew it wasn't his knees. Because I mean, we've trained consistently 2 to 3 times a week, and I just knew something else was happening. So you know, when he made what's it, the tap out?
TKO.
TKO.
Yeah.
So
down, yeah.
I was like, you know, really happy, but also concerned, because as Jack knows, our next camp starts once he comes home and is medically cleared. So that's always the priority, getting him one step closer to the goal. And like it was when he was in Cage Warriors, and he's defended and he won the title. And it wasn't just like, okay, we need to keep sitting on our butts, if I can say that. And you know, we kept moving forward. And Jack has great support with the whole team at Frontline, his training partners, with Teta, Moisan, Ristu, and then Turo Morton at Briskeby Osteopathy. So he's got a nice network. I meet up with Jack before we kind of start the season, find out where he is with his body and what our projection is, and more or less if we know that something is going to happen in the pipeline, so we know that we kind of preset things. So when, you know, I get a little message from the guy behind me, and then we know, okay, we're going to turn up the afterburners a little bit more. Okay, that cardio was nothing. We trained for Mexico. Mexico had the highest elevation, and we trained for Mexico. And when we were ready for Mexico, Jack came back, he took that fight, he won that fight. And he came back, and I said to Jack that no other fight is going to have that much demand on your oxygen. Yes, a fight is a fight, don't get me wrong. But if you talk about elevation, location, Mexico is the highest. And Jack came out tops. So I've never been sort of worried about Jack's cardio, because we do a lot on his cardio. We work a lot on his stability. We work a lot on everything. But we work everything smart. We work everything hard. And everything has its place in a training regime. So people might misunderstand why he's using a ball, but we don't have to do the internet fancy stuff to get the job done. We do things that's effective and things that actually work. And we know that we always concerned about, on a daily basis, how his body's feeling and how his body's performing, because that is also my concern. Well, it was 2 years ago, Jack, you were nominated or on the list of Swedish athletes on the top 8?
Yeah, I can't remember, but
See, he can't even remember those type of things. I do. 15th of December, UFC on Fox, Milwaukee. Yes?
yes, sir.